Hi, I'm Mash Punigala, brand strategist with Spellbrand. Today's topic is about investing in business during a crisis. Now, right now, of course, we are in the middle of the biggest crisis that most of us probably have seen. I mean, of course, 2008 was also a huge kind of crisis. It was a financial crisis. This one is more, yeah, financial crisis impending, but it's also much more than that, right? So during this time, the natural tendency of business owners and entrepreneurs is to try and not spend any money, right, on business. Now, on the face of it, that sounds like a good idea, right? It's uncertain times. You don't know what's going on. And is it a good idea to really, whatever kind of cash you have, is it a good idea to spend it on your business? When, for example, maybe you're not being paid or you don't have enough customers. Or even if you have customers, you're not getting the kind of revenue that you used to get before. So at this time, a lot of us would be thinking that maybe it's better to just save our cash, not invest. Now, it's a very tricky kind of situation, and it's not an easy one. Typically, of course, the topic of this video and what I'm going to say is that you should be investing in your business. But it's not as easy as that or as simple as that. Because investing in your business when times are tough, when there's a crisis, could be kind of a double-edged sword, right? So I think, again, like I always say, if you have a robust strategy, right? If you have a strategic plan in terms of moving to where you want to be once the crisis is over or even during the crisis, then yes, investing in your business is the right thing to do. It's because everybody's thinking the same, right? Your competitors might be pulling back. Your competitors might be thinking the same and they're not investing in their business, which means that they're pulling back on their marketing. They're pulling back on their brand building activities. They're pulling back on investing in creating brand assets, right? It could be even message driven. Maybe they're pulling back on their social media. They're pulling back on content generation. So when they're doing that, would it be worth going the opposite way, right? Spending more. And there's been many, many examples of brands that actually went the opposite way during a crisis or when the trend was one way, they would go the opposite way, and and they have reaped the rewards of that. Yes, but it has to be done in a strategic way, right? It has to be done carefully. It's not just throwing money out there. um, right now, of course, if you look at marketing, right, if you look at advertising, it's become cheaper because no one is really spending any money on advertising. So if you're looking at Facebook advertising, if you're looking at Google AdWords and things like that, they're cheaper, but doesn't mean that you can just throw money out there and expect results. There's a reason that the competition is not investing. But at the same time, now is the time to get the eyeballs, to get the mind share and the market share for your business. My suggestion is to really invest on the fundamentals of your business. Maybe not on advertising straight off the bat. If you already have your brand DNA set up, if your brand basics and fundamentals, including, of course, what your brand represents, your brand story, your brand messaging, if all that is already streamlined, then yes, you can then start thinking about messaging and spending maybe a little bit on advertising. But if not, then spend on the fundamentals, right? Take the time now and, if required, invest in in the fundamentals of your business. Get a good brand strategy in place. Get a good brand identity in place. Work out the messaging. Figure out who the target audience really is, because this is a time that really shows you who your real audience is, right? And then start building campaigns so that you can reach your audience and communicate your message. Not sales messages, but brand messages. Now, a lot of you might be thinking, well, do you know what, Mash? At the moment, there's no sales, there's no revenue. And whatever little buffer we have, you want us to throw in getting a shiny new logo or an update to the website. And then what? Well, actually, that would make a difference. I'm not just a shiny new logo. You know what I mean, right? It would make a difference when if you reach out to your kind of target audience in an appropriate way, right? You reach out to them with the right kind of message, with the right kind of intention, then it's really going to work out. Okay, so how do you go about investing in the fundamentals? The first is, of course, getting your story straight. So your brand story is the perfect kind of thing to invest in right now. Actually, investing in your brand story is fundamental. You need to do that at any stage, right? More so during a crisis, because the crisis is a time for you to sort of rethink not only your business model, but also your target audience, your messaging, and to see, is this a viable business, right? Is this going to survive once the crisis is over, right? And or if the crisis continues. If the economic downturn means that your target audience, your customers, if they're not going to spend any money once the crisis is over, what are you going to do? And a strategy actually enables you to look at all these options. It will enable you to take a step back and say, is this the best way to do my business? Is this model the best way? Could I change the model so that I spend less but get more bang for my buck, right? In terms of marketing, I mean. Is it time to go completely online? Should I pivot my business? And by the way, I did a video on pivoting last week. Maybe you want to check that out. So yeah, think about it. I know it's really not something that is a straightforward kind of answer. It's not something that is simply, yes, do it, don't do it. Of course, it depends on your exact situation, your business, your brand, how strong your brand is, right? How robust it is, your target audience, what kind of people they are, what is their buying kind of pattern, off crisis, on crisis. You got to look at all these things. But go back to fundamentals. That is what I'm trying to say. Invest in fundamentals and you will not regret it. Fundamentals are a must. And investing in fundamentals it's always the right thing to do. Okay? So anyway, that is my 2 cents for this topic. But I wanted to talk about something else that I think, a new series that I want to start. I'll probably be starting it in the next couple of days, but it's based on my favorite show on YouTube called Cinema Sins, right? So they sort of take a movie and then they review it, but with sins. I've been wanting to do not cinema sins kind of a thing, but brand sins, right? So I've been meaning to actually take up case studies, look at popular brands, their branding activities, their messages, their marketing, and sort of analyze them and do that kind of sins. So maybe I'll have a counter and I'll be adding up sins, and therein discuss, of course, the right strategies, the right way of branding and things like that. I don't know. What do you think? Leave a comment below if you think that's a great idea. If you would like to watch such videos and see me analyze, different kind of brands, what they're doing, for example, during the crisis, how they are, how are their brands evolving during a crisis, and so on and so forth. If you think that's a great idea, leave a comment below. Even if you think it's a bad idea, leave a comment below. And yeah, but I will give it a try. Maybe we can do a few of the bigger brands first. And if you guys like it and if you're finding value in it, then I will do more. All right. Till my next video, take care.